My pregnancy was normal. Towards the end, I do feel like his growth slowed down, and there was, looking back, hindsight being 2020, maybe some signs that something was going on, but nothing that was obvious during my pregnancy. We realized that Corbin needed medical attention when he was not meeting milestones, when it was obvious that something was making him really miserable and uncomfortable and unhappy. And he was having struggles with feeding as well. So everything was just a challenge for him. Everything was a struggle, and it made it apparent that there was something going on. So with the help of his pediatrician, we started exploring what medically might be causing all those struggles for him. In March of 2020, Corbin was diagnosed first with infantile spasms when he was 5 months old, and then Corbin got his FOXG1 syndrome diagnosis at 9 months old in July. FOXG1 syndrome is a very rare genetic neurodevelopmental disorder, and that is one of the first and most important genes in brain development. He has some sensory processing struggles, so if an environment is too loud or too bright, or the textures are off or the smells are off, that can be hard for him. Obviously, when you're non-speaking, it makes it really hard to be able to communicate your wants and needs to other people, and that also means other people don't presume competence. They just assume that he either doesn't understand, or he doesn't deserve to be talked to, or he doesn't deserve to be treated like the rest of us do. And so that is really challenging for me, because my kid is really smart and he's really fun. And I think that the people that don't take the time to get to know him are really missing out on who he is as a person. And so those are some of the main challenges. Lindsay and Owen are also a Sundance Circle family, and after becoming friends with Lindsay, she and Owen shared with us their experience with Sundance. We jumped right into it and got scheduled, and have been almost exactly 2 years now that Corbin's been at Sundance.
When I first met Corbin, he was barely even sitting independently. So he was sitting only for a couple of seconds before needing physical support. He had a lot more weakness, even just going from laying on his back to just sitting up, just like a traditional sit-up, needed a lot of support for that. And so he just needed a lot of physical support for all of those basic functions. And now he is needing very little support for most of those things. Some kids, a typical session has a lot of games and toys, but for Corbin, he really loves the outdoors and the horse. And so that's what we focus on, and that is more than enough to get fantastic sessions with him. And so we use the horse doing different movement patterns that then his body has to work against to stabilize against, that builds all of those core and those trunk muscles. And we also have been able to progress with him going from different sitting positions, from being like sitting forward, sideways, and backwards on the horse, to now he's able to do that. Plus he does quadruped, which is up on his hands and in his knees, and he's able to do tall kneel, which is up on his knees, up tall, and he can do it in different positions. And we'll do some standing work with his feet in the stirrups, all working his muscles in different ways that have progressed as he's progressed. Corbin is one of the most hardworking people I have ever worked with, and you see the challenges that he has, but he never gives up. He is the most persistent person also that I think I've ever known, and he's happy and he's smiley and he's laughing, and he just likes to be silly and have a good time, even while he's working through all of these challenges that most of us, you and I, take for granted every day. But that persistence that we see and that happy attitude that we see in them is all the motivation I think anybody needs.
To see Corbin work every day and try his best and get stronger, it's really been a great opportunity to just see how strong he is, and to remind me that sometimes it's the little things that matter the most, and to just, if you work harder every day, that it might not seem like it now, but in the future, in a year, it'll look so much different than it did before, and to just keep trying. I think it's just really great to be able to come to a place where everybody is so open and helpful, and you can see so many different people from all walks of life come together to help each other.
Donations are important to a place like Sundance because often getting therapies, especially such unique therapies and honestly really beneficial therapies like hippotherapy covered through insurance, is either impossible or very, very challenging. And then even in that case, sometimes when insurance does cover part of it, it doesn't cover all of it. And so there's a lot of financial burden that comes with being the parent of somebody with disabilities. And so to have donations going to Sundance that allow our kids to have an opportunity like hippotherapy is just really special and wonderful. And I'm just really grateful as Corbin's mom to be able to provide hippotherapy to him. And that wouldn't be possible for a lot of the families at Sundance if it wasn't for the donations that they receive.